just by far the best mirrorless camera for vlogging.
Different places, different worlds, nothing left, just empty words.
Hey guys, today unfortunately no music, no DJing, no traveling. I'm working at the moment on a project that I can't share, but since I'm today filming for the very first time with a new camera, it gives me the perfect opportunity to show you the camera I've filmed with for the past 135 daily videos. This right here is, in my opinion, the most practical, the most affordable, and just the easiest all-in-all camera to do vlogs with. I took it with me DJing in Norway, DJing for Smirnoff at the Perukaville Festival. Look what I got, a Smirnoff bottle with Mix It Like Jon Sine. Really nice. Which was, by the way, just crazy. I also took it with me on vacations in Israel. And in Thailand. Big wave. Also to the Oktoberfest and playing paintball with it, which was probably the worst idea of all. I'm still having a bit of paint on the camera here between the buttons and for some reason some Nutella. I don't know why. That's the setup I'm using daily for already quite some time. This is the Sony a5100, and this right here is a selfie tripod thing from Zirai. You can make it here smaller and also fold up the legs, or just extend them, lock them, and then you have it as a tripod. This thing is way better than any of the Gorilla Pods. I actually made already a video about it. I will link it up at the end of this one. So what is so good about this camera, and why am I replacing it with another one when this just is the perfect vlogging setup? First of all, the quality that you get out of this small camera is just amazing. It can compete without a problem with bigger cameras that are way more expensive. For example, right now I'm filming on a Canon 700D, also known as the T5i. It's almost the same price, but I definitely have to give it to the Sony. It looks a bit sharper and makes just a better image. But let's just switch the two so that you can compare it for yourself. This right now is the quality of this Sony. I think it's a little bit sharper. The colors between Canon and Sony is really a matter of taste. Also, I had to crop this image to make it fit to the Canon one. It's actually a little bit wider, which is just perfect for vlogging. You get a bit more distance between the camera and your face. By the way, I'm using on both cameras the kit lens. This might of course vary depending on the lens that you have. Also, as you can probably already see, this thing is 3 times bigger than the Sony and already getting a bit heavy to really have it on this tripod selfie stick thing. The best feature on the Sony is definitely the autofocus. It just detects anything really fast, switches between things in a very natural way. It doesn't really hunt and it doesn't make any noise at all. Just to compare it really quick with the 700D, it takes a little bit longer, it hunts, makes a little bit of noise that you won't probably hear because I'm using an external mic. I never ever had to worry about the autofocus, and I also really love the screen that folds up. It's very stable compared to other cameras. Some have like a second system in place that just makes the screen very flimsy, but this one is super robust. You just open it, close it, really perfect for vlogging. I also prefer having it up because it looks a bit more natural. If you might look into the screen, you should always look into the lens. But when it's on the side, like on this one, it just looks strange when you look onto the screen. What I also absolutely love is that you can just change the lens, get one that is even wider and kind of get more frame around you. Now let's come to the few downsides of this camera. One of them is due to the kit lens. It has an electronic zoom, which is cool for photos because you can just use this little switch here to zoom. but for videos it's really bad because it's making noise that you will definitely hear while recording. One of the bigger issues is the overheating. If you film in a country where it's cold, you might get 20 minutes out of it filming at a time. In Thailand I had maybe 5 minutes, which is already pretty annoying. The two newer cameras from Sony, the A6300 and 6500, are way better. They don't have the overheating issue anymore, at least for filming in HD, but they don't come with the flip out screen, which is a deal breaker if you're vlogging. All of this isn't really an issue for me, but the camera doesn't have a mic input, and sound is super important to me as a music producer. The built-in mic isn't bad, but for example here in the studio you have a loud floor noise. It tries to put gain on the silent parts, and also whenever you're outside you're just picking all of the sound around you, which can be very distracting. That's the main reason why I bought this camera. I was hoping to get rid of the noise floor, but it just does the same thing. I'm assuming the preamps in these cameras are just not comparable to music equipment. I would have probably to buy a way more expensive camera to get rid of it, but at least this camera gives me the directional sound, so whenever I'm outside you will still just be able to hear my voice clearly. The main reason for the switch is that this camera isn't working properly anymore. I don't really know why, but it started 2 days ago. Whenever I turn it on, it just doesn't do a thing. I have to turn it off and on at least 10 times and hit it a little bit, and then it works for a couple of minutes. Filming with it today was super annoying, and now it doesn't turn on at all anymore. So unfortunately I won't be able to show you any more example shots of this camera, but just feel free to check out any other video on my channel. And now something that is really rare for YouTube: instead of unboxing something, putting it back into the box. By the way, this right here is the battery. You will need at least 2 or 3 of these to do an entire daily vlog. And this right here is the charger. It directly connects to the camera over micro USB. So you will definitely need an external charger for it, and before bringing it back to the store, hopefully getting a replacement, or they will just repair it, it's time to continue working on this special music project. All done for today. Perfect opportunity to test the new microphone outside. It's a little bit windy. I'm sure the microphone will handle it without a problem. The microphone should be way more focused on my voice and less noise around it, but it seems like the low light is worse on this Canon. The Sony has a pretty good low light for a small camera, but I'd still wish it would be better, because I really like to film in clubs and at night. You can definitely already smell a little bit of Christmas here in the city center. They also installed all of the lights. It looks kind of cool. I'm now in the mall where I bought the camera. I hope they won't discuss a lot.
Kauf war einfach flop.
Und ist eigentlich eine gute Kamera. I'm all done in there. They promised me to repair it within the next 2 weeks, and I honestly can't wait to replace it again with the Canon, or maybe just try out another camera that is similar to the Sony and has a mic input. I'm not really sure. I will figure something out. And now I have the option to go back home, back to the studio and work, or just stay here in the city and get some drinks with friends.
Fotografieren Sie ja hobbymäßig oder?
Ja.
Oder?
Nö.
Hobby.
Oh, you're like cigarette smoke in a dark and empty room. You're tearing me apart.